Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are. I hope you are having a beautiful and blessed day. We are officially on day number 2 of AI assets and avatars, all the good goods that I want to share with you when it comes to strategically, intentionally working on getting better at creating a simple, sustainable digital product business with the help of me, AI, and Cece. CC being what I call your AI-powered clarity coach. So you can see CC is here working on the $100 winner, and hopefully you'll get the opportunity to work on that too. Before we jump into day 2, let's talk about overall our agenda. My goal as part of this Build-A-Thon is to help you really understand why clarity has to come before building. A lot of people find themselves in places where they're just not clear about what they should do or why what they tried to do didn't quite work the way it was supposed to. So you find yourself second guessing, spinning your wheels, and just desperately trying to figure out what's the right route to take, because guess what? You don't want to spend any more money, honey, or waste any more time when it comes to trying to build your business online, right? I find that's a struggle for a lot of people who aren't simply new to entrepreneurship, but has leaned into entrepreneurship online in some way, and they're looking for a better way today, right? For one reason or another. So working on clarity so that you can identify that what's confusing and blocking in your business so that you can unlock momentum has definitely been an integral part of our experience over these past 2 days. And then, of course, what I wanted to do was to lean into using AI in several ways. Number one, to get answers, but to create assets around those answers and develop your own avatars too. These are a few key discussions that I've been having with you around AI answers, avatars, and assets. So that's just kind of a quick recap of our overarching agenda and what we essentially worked on yesterday between the sessions and the CC prompts that I provided. You could have the opportunity to reflect on and gain strategies around why you feel unstuck, why feelings of being unstuck and fizzled, well, not fizzled, but frustrated can affect your focus, right? Choosing your feelings over your focus, and then ultimately understanding that when you're clear about what you're feeling and what you're trying to do, the answers are going to help you get better at creating assets, right? These are a few things that we leaned in yesterday, and then I shared with you how you can use CC as your AI ally, right? She's 24/7 available so that you can use the prompts that I provided to you to help you process your business decisions, reflect on patterns you cannot see by yourself, because if you could, you would have done that a long time ago, right? Thinking about how you can use CC to guide your thinking and then help you reduce the dependence on constant coaching or constant searching for solutions that honestly are inside of you. You just need the right medium to get that kind of deep clarity out of you, okay? So again, for me, it's all about the clarity with CC to support that kind of understanding before you move into execution. So we worked on the confused to clear prompt, checking your challenges too. If you miss those prompts, definitely lean into our replays because you'll find them there. Then we leaned into AI avatars that can help you really create clarity around your customer who you're trying to reach, create a cavatar that can serve as a representation of your business, your brand, or specific products you're trying to put out. Kind of like how, for me, this particular character that you see is the embodiment of CC. Literally, she's got her CC necklace on, right? Of the clarity coach that I want you to envision is working with you when you work through the guided, prompted experiences that I've created for you, right? Do you want to create some sort of an avatar character for your business brand or a particular product or project that you are developing. And then clone avatars too, which are basically an extension of you. They look as close as possible to you, and in some cases, sometimes people can't tell between the real you and the clone you, right? Advanced avatars that can represent you online and be the face of you online when you're trying to do other things. So really just kind of understanding the differences between the customer avatar, the character avatar, and creating your own AI clone. These are some things that we leaned into yesterday, right? And similar to today, you're going to get prompts to help you work on not just brainstorming these different concepts, but building, okay? Because it's the clarity for me and the content too. You need a balance between the two, right? So after discussing your avatar stack, I was about to say avatar hack. After going over the avatar stack, day one, clarity achieved, creating a space where you can stop guessing about what you need to build, understand who you serve, communicate with confidence, reduce mental overwhelm, prepare for the asset creation that we are going to do today so that you can build with clarity and not chaos, right? You want to reduce that feeling of panic and this desire to constantly pivot so that you can stop starting over all the time and find a happy middle where you can build, again, from a place of clarity and not chaos. So today, day two, we're leaning into answers that turn into assets. Yay? Okay. Assets that you can turn your knowledge and leverage that knowledge to be able to generate more revenue in your business, right? Assets create revenue without burnout because then you're able to always have something to share with your audience. I always say, always have something to something to say, something to share, and something to sell. So when it comes to clarity, we're not only just focusing on the answers that you need, but how to turn your expertise, the answers that you have, into assets using AI, right? These are going to be things that can support long-term sustainability in your business, especially if you work on developing the kind of assets that are evergreen. Doesn't matter what day or year it is, these are the kind of things that can sell for you consistently to create that long-term sustainability. Using these same assets to scale beyond you having to be live, whether it's online or offline, right? So that you have a productized business. That's a big thing that I want to focus on this year inside the Academy. Strategically taking what you know and productizing it. So it doesn't require you to be in person, and people can get access to your systems, your frameworks, the things that you do without having to have direct access to you, right? I want you to lean into that. How much of you do you have to put into the things that you do to be able to effectively sell well? Focusing on assets that support retention and reactivation so that you, again, are leading into sustainability strategically, retaining customers, reactivating customers. I actually did a really solid session yesterday in the seven-figure circle where we talked about those concepts. Customers staying with you, referring people to you through the strategies that are retention, reactivation, and referrals. So these assets are essentially going to help you lean into those three R's and move you towards the kind of income goals that you are looking to see consistently. So, number one, accelerator. I'm going to go through several assets that it's possible either you have, you don't have, or you need to lean into to get better at generating revenue. Accelerators are short, focused programs that solve one urgent problem, okay? These are designed for fast wins, ideal for reactivating warm leads, reusable multiple times yearly, strong premium offer foundation, clear transformation. So right now, inside of the Academy, I have the $100 winner. It's the idea of you creating a no-brainer $100 bundle that you can sell at scale 10 sales at a time, right? It has a productized experience. What does that mean? Okay, I have something called the $100 blueprint. You purchase the blueprint so you can map out your $100 offer. I don't have to do a live training. I don't have to get on a call with you. I don't have to go fly to LA to show you how to map out your $100 offer. It's a product. Productized means they buy it and you don't have to be in front of them to have them, that a part of the product is not you, right? And then number two, the $100 winner has a builder. So once you map your offer, you can build it and I don't have to be there. You can use the strategies, the tools, the templates that I've given you to map your offer, number one, make your offer, number two, right? So the next thing I said was for those people who want to go beyond that, now I have an accelerator. Why? Because this gives me an opportunity to do several things. Number one, reusable multiple times yearly. My academy is 12 months, 1 year, right? Some of you guys are in there, and some of you are joining literally as I share these strategies, right? I think Linda signed up yesterday for the VIP access to AI Profits. Rashina signed up like 2 days ago to join us in the academy, so that you guys strategically are thinking about how can I get better using the strategies Ashonda's teaching, right? And as part of supporting you, one of the things I lean into, I've been doing this for years, is quarterly accelerators. This year, the focus is the $100 winner. So in quarter one, we have an accelerator to actually create your offer. Quarter two, once it's really solid, we're focused on launching and selling the offer. Quarter three, once we've got some sales under our belt, we are refining and enhancing the offer. Quarter four, once we've got some things really solid, we're scaling the offer, giving you the gift of a year to get better at building the best possible $100 winner. That creates a space where not only am I creating something that's reusable multiple times yearly, it's a part of a premium experience. The base level of the academy is $1,000 for the year. Working with me directly, $6,000 in Accelerate and or $12,000 in Elevate, creating a premium experience, and the accelerator is a foundational piece of that. Creating a transformational journey where we're working on making the offer, mapping out the offer, mastering the process of developing the offer. Map, make, master, 1 quarter at a time. Designed for fast wins, so that for people who want to jump in immediately, they get access to the product. Within an hour, they can map their offer. Within a week, they can make the foundation of the offer. And then within 30 to 90 days, they can work on the map, build, sell experience. So you want to think about that. The time frame, the specific wins, the foundation, the transformation that you're trying to put into an asset like an accelerator that can work for you and your people too. Number one. Asset number two is an audio to offer experience. As you can see, I like to talk. But really I don't. I do and I don't. Like, I'm an introvert, so I'm not really out there talking to people all the time. I spend most of the time online, inside. But when I'm online inside, sitting and looking at, I don't know, my Santa Claus that's still up, a week after the year has begun, and sitting here talking to you, I like to create spaces where I can break things down for you. And a lot of times it's in audio content. For me, it's easy to create without heavy production, builds trust through the voice, and a lot of people say, I like your voice, right? So why not lean into it? Supports busy lifestyles for people who can't necessarily join me live. I always say, hey, check it out on the replay side. You can listen, right? I have clients who say, listen, I listen to you in the car. I listen to you while I go to work. My kids know the sound of your voice. They're like, hey, that's LaShonda. Right? You can use it in different ways, especially the new trending way the last couple of years has been private podcasts, right? Repurposable across platforms that supports onboarding content, educational content, motivational content, baby, name it, and you can create it with audio to grow, turning that audio content into an offer asset for your audience, right? So, for example, one of the things that I've put inside of my Tiny to Titan Academy is my Clarity Kit. My Clarity Kit helps you go from confused to cash flow, right? Because I say, listen, the 3 C's for me, you want to work on clarity to help with the content and then go from better content to actually generating more cash flow. That's going to help you grow with speed, right? And so I put together my Clarity Kit, and there are different types of resources in it. One type is audio content, my Break Up with Broke series, my Money Magnet series, my Everyday Sales series. Baby, I have created quite a few audio series for you when it comes to clarity, right? And then being able to take all of those things and pool them together, that's a whole other level of a asset that I'm going to share with you, okay? As a matter of fact, let me just check something real quick. Let's do a quick power pause because I want to see if I can put that on the screen at some point. I'm visual, but let me see if I can set that up for you. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so thinking about the kind of assets you want to develop, right? Number one, as we discussed, an accelerator. So some sort of short-term experience to help your audience solve one urgent problem designed for fast wins, right? And for me, I've intentionally focused on one laser-specific topic, and I've created 4 accelerators that are happening throughout the course of this year, 1 per quarter, something that I honestly love to do. The next thing is the audio offer, as I just shared with you. Working on creating an audio series that you can share with your audience is a great way to get the content out, because to me, it's when it comes to the ABCs of digital content creation, audio is the easiest one to lean into when you're getting started and or want to create a content creation regimen that is not production heavy, time heavy, content heavy. You got to get dressed. You got to do this. You got to do that. Just hit record on your your phone and start recording your voice, right? There you go. Asset number 3, activities. Activities that you can create that are going to help your people not just consume information, but do something. You want your education to be an engaging experience, right? It's kind of like the difference between watching a teacher or a lecturer just kind of rattle off all these things versus someone who says, hey, this is how you're going to learn today, by going into an immersive experience. So let's talk about what this looks like, right? If I go over to our dashboard for this training, right? LaShonda, how do I get to the dashboard? Well, click that email, click the link in the email that says get the call-in details for today, and you will see in that email you have all the details you need to work through the trainings I've created for you, right? And what do you see here? Prompts. We're on day 2, so we're going to work on some of these prompts today, but we had quite a few prompts yesterday. These are activities. You've taken the prompt, putting it into ChatGPT. That's an activity. So a lot of you are inside of my academy, right? And if you log in, you'll see what? Activities. the 360 Clarity Council, Build Your Tiny Tool, co-work with me, create your calendar for the year, get unstuck with CC. These are what? Activities. So I want you to think about that. When you are trying to figure out how to create a digital product business, virtual experiences, micro education, it's not just about you creating a bunch of slides and talking people through what you want them to do. You have to create experiences where they focus on the do, right? This turns learning into action. This supports accountability, reduces overwhelm, guides implementation, improves retention, works with AI, especially when it comes to reflection. That's what CC is for. And in many cases, when I talk about utilizing CC, right? This is CC, my AI-powered clarity coach. And if you missed yesterday's training, I shared with you how to create your own AI avatars too, right? When I create experiences with CC, it's an opportunity for me to help you get guided time to reflect or guided time to work or rework your stuff, right? We do a combination of brainstorm and build, right? Working on clarity and content, products and pages. So as I'm going through this list with you today, okay, I want you to think about which of these A's you have or you don't have. You need to improve or you need to start creating. Maybe you want to work on an accelerator, or maybe you want to create a specific audio offer. Maybe you have or need to get better at either creating activities that people can use on demand. So remember, productize, right? Where you don't have to actually be doing the activity with them. They can purchase them and experiencing them independently of you. That's the productization of scaling your revenue. Because I want you to think about this. The kind of offers you create, right? Let's just pause for a second. Those of you who are here, I'm leaning in, right? The kind of offers you create or can create probably are in one of these three categories. One-to-one, right, which is working with people directly, right? So people in my academy are on either one of these levels, right? So there's one-to-one. Then the next one is one-to-few, okay, where you're working with a few people versus one-to-many where it's everybody, right? So, for example, when I do a workshop here in North Carolina, it's a one-to-few experience. I have a suite where, baby, can't be nobody more than 8 to 9 people in that suite. We can't have 10 of us in that suite, okay? 1 minute we cold, we turn on the air conditioner, we turn on the heater, next minute we hot. In order to be comfortable, we're maxed out at about 8 women in that suite, right? It's definitely a one-to-few experience, right? Versus when I do these trainings with you guys, it's one-to-many. As many people as can hang out with me virtually, they can, right? The only thing would be like a limitation on capacity as far as having some sort of a virtual meeting space where you have only a maximum amount of people in the room with you at that time. But come on, most of those things have, hundreds, if not thousands of space for you. So in many cases, it doesn't necessarily affect one-to-many for you, the average entrepreneur, versus people with the Tony Robbins of the world with stadium-sized numbers of people, being with them in person or virtually, right? And then you've got experiences outside of the one-to-many, and the one-to-few is the one-on-one. So there are those of you who are in the program at the focus level, and you can join me in the community when I'm doing things with you guys virtually. And then the one-to-few who are working with me one-on-one as part of Accelerate and Elevate, and we're doing things privately for your unique projects, right? So think about that. What are you doing? What can you do that might work for you? So I had the opportunity to speak with a new client this past Wednesday, and she was telling me about all the different things that she does, and I totally understand it because I used to be a 9-to-5 entrepreneur too, so I get it when you're stretched in 15 different ways, right? And as part of that conversation, she says, you know what, I am in a space where I focus on health and wellness, and I did begin my journey with coaching, but at this point in my journey, I do not have the bandwidth for one-to-one. I cannot, right? So you have to think about these AI assets that I'm sharing with you, not just, ooh, that sounds cool. That sounds like something I might want to do. Is it something that's going to be a good fit for you based on your capacity, based on your lifestyle? Is it going to work for you? Will it sell for you, right? These are those hidden questions that I need you to lean into. Because guess what? Activities, right? Let's pause this for a second. Let's go over to our dashboard. Now, you may have one or dashboard versus the other. Everyone has the free 99 dashboard. This is a live training, and you can get access to what we're doing live, number one. If you look at the top, you'll see the next Build-A-Thon. When that's happening, I'm doing each one of these every single month, right? When you scroll down and you see the prompts, you'll see some of them are free 99, and some you have to join VIP to unlock, okay? And all the VIP details, by the way, are literally on the page for you, okay? So that you, ooh, I forgot, it did change. So yesterday, getting VIP access to 4 of these Build-A-Thons for the year, the one that kicks off each quarter, January, April, July, and October, was 67. Now it's 97. Then after today, it's going to go back to 197. And then the Academy, there's a reduced rate too if you're thinking about it and didn't quite lean into joining the Academy, at least at the base level, working with me and the awesome ladies in the community, right? So you can just kind of jump down to the page and learn about that. But I talked about activities, so that's what we're leaning into now. And I want you to think about, let me click over to day 2, the kind of activities you might want to lean into. If you want to create an audio series, there's literally a prompt to help you brainstorm either a private podcast or an audio series based on your expertise, interests, and target audience. Then there's the 12-week accelerator builder. So literally you can go through a guided experience with CC, put that into ChatGPT or your platform of choice, and then come out the other side with your 12-week accelerator knocked out. Or if you find you want to figure out, I need to understand if what I'm thinking about doing is actually going to sell, and better yet, is it going to sell well? The sellability snapshot is a series of questions, clarifying questions to determine if your idea is viable before you even lean into building it, right? And so for me, we are going to do some activities together when it comes to assets today. But I first kind of wanted to lean into the different types of assets that I wanted to teach you, one of those being creating activities for your audience. Whether you're baking activities into your training, you are creating activity apps, like we've been talking about what I call tiny tools. These are no-code apps that you can build on platforms like Lovable and Canva, and I've literally given you a lot of tools to be able to build your apps, right? That's another thing to lean into. When it comes to revenue, another asset is apps. And what's great about apps is that they are what? Activity-driven, not just a bunch of information that your audience has to consume, but things that they can do. So I want to take an opportunity, a pause to ask you, how much of the doing, right? How much of the doing are you infusing into your content? Or are you just kind of being that person who goes, okay, here, you can do this, 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 and this order, and ask me this question, but then not necessarily creating the space where they're just not prepping and learning about the things they need to do, but they're actually doing the thing too in the moment, okay? Now, we've got something cool called the AI Asset Inventory prompt, and we're going to go through that in a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to show you this space real quick, because working through your assets is definitely something that I want you to do. And of all of them that I could talk to you about today, my top 2 favorites are activity-based assets, especially those in the form of apps, web apps that you can build with AI. So let me do something, because I want to make sure that I've got a visual for you, and I'm trying to get my AI to ensure that it's ready. So hold on, quick power pause. Alrighty, so activity number 3. Number 4, assessments. Assessments identify readiness and gaps to create personalized starting points. Positions you strategically when it comes to having having the solution to the problem the assessment brings out, right? So that you can support upsells, generate insight data, and improve conversion. So let me give you an example of that, right? So one of the lovely ladies in the academy, Erica, she's at the Accelerate level. After yesterday's training, she was like, LaShonda, check my messages, check my audio messages, right? Hey, audio, right? And there's so many ways to create audio content, by the way. Like doing a private podcast or an audio series is one thing, right? But think about this. A lot of people do audio-based coaching, right? One of the most popular platforms that many of us coaches are using is Voxer, so that outside of one-on-one calls or direct access calls, we can do back and forth audio messaging with our audience, right? And then I was about to say something else about audio content. Man, it'll come back to me. But I think about that one in particular because I do a lot of audio-based coaching with my clients in between our sessions. And so Erica had checked in because we're working on a lead magnet for her website. I'm rebuilding that. I built her website back in 3 years ago, so whatever that was. And then she's like, okay, I'm pivoting, I'm doing some new things, and we're working on all the redesign and fun things. But as part of that, she's like, I need a new lead magnet. So I said, well, use my app builder so that you can build a lead magnet with the app, right? And one of the things that she leaned into was creating an assessment. And so we were having a chat yesterday via Voxer, and she was like, okay, so it's a 3-question assessment, and then after that, it can tell them, what's going on based on what they need. I can then say to them, okay, get my ebook, or, sign up to book me for coaching, or take advantage of this program. And I was like, okay, yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, making sure that those pages are put together so that they can be infused at the end outcome of the assessment. So the assessment positions you strategically as the solution to the problem. The assessment has said, hey, this is what's going on with you. Now, not all assessments have to be solution problem driven, but it's very common to create that kind of assessment or audit quiz for your people when you're trying to take your people through a value ladder experience, right? And LaVon knows that's too exhaustion. I've been talking about her book launch last year, and when we created a quiz, it was helpful to create a space where she could help people identify their self-care limitations where they were feeling weary in their life, and then offer them a snapshot, like a weary to well snapshot that can say, here's where you are, this is what you can start doing, and if you really want to move forward, transitioning from weary to well, a transformation journey, get the Weary to Well book so that I can show you everything that you need to do. That's productization. Taking this thing that you've developed, putting it into a product that you can sell one to many, and then creating an assessment where you're helping people identify where they are, what struggles they're going through, and then position you strategically, right, as the solution to their problem. So that helps you to increase your conversions, right? It also gives you an opportunity to generate insight help them gain insight around what they need and or what they're going through. It also helps you, provided you are able to use assessments and quizzes in a way where you're tracking that data. Now, the ones that we create via Canva AI, there's some data you can track and not necessarily all of it. But again, there are also outside of us building assessments and forms and things like that via Canva, there are also more sophisticated platforms that have more detailed tracking and data insights that you can lean into as well. But that's just, food for thought for now. admin pages. Baby, it's the admin pages for me. So I'm building what I call my AI digital business headquarters and helping clients at the accelerate and elevate level create their own as well. These are central hubs where I can have all the resources that I need in my business to build a better business, improve client experiences, reduce repeated questions, support scalability, create structure, and save time. Literally, as we are together right now, I can check in with my AI ally and say, okay, I need you to add this to the page because I'm in the training. I want to make sure that this is there and this is there. Or, okay, somebody just said they were having issues with this link. Can you check it? Can you fix it? And get things done in minutes instead of months. So let's take a look at some of these pages, right? Number one, I did share with you the Academy, and I've built this inside of my AI headquarters. And those of you who are in the Academy can sign in and access your hub. But let's take a look at my admin section real quick. Okay, so some of you have seen this admin dashboard that I've built so that it is a part of the many web pages that I'm building, right? And in this dashboard, I can see a lot of things. Number one, I can see all the pages that I have, my inner circle page, my clarity code page. These are sales pages. The winners challenge. These are my academy. I have, I think, 3 or 4 different academy plans. So if somebody says, you know what, you got a lot here. I don't know which one I should, sign up to. Okay, go to the comparison pages, right? Testimonials. I have a bunch of testimonials that I've collected over the years. Do you feel like you're not organized, right? You have things, and you know you do, but they're all over the place, right? So I have my testimonials in here. I have my story in here, like literally just talking to the AI and saying, these are the things that I've done over the last 20 years. So when I want to create a page, I can say, okay, let's pull the right pieces from the story. When I want to share an offer, I can say, okay, let's go through the testimonials and pick the best testimonials to put on this page because it's in my admin section, right? Even members, right? I can have a space where I can kind of allot space to put in who's in what program. So, for example, we talked about one-to-many, one-to-few, a few things that I can do. I can only work with so many one-on-one clients, right? So my thing is 10, but then I'm always like a little bit more, right? 20 is definitely the maximum for me as far as the accelerate and elevate level because it's direct access. But that's one thing, right? Being able to then say, okay, well, if you're in the focus level and you're the community, I can kind of work with as many people who want to be in that larger group at the focus level, one-to-one, one-to-few, one-to-many. You got to kind of think about those things logistically. And so here, I have my members, so I can see how many members I have. I can make sure I'm not maxing out in certain sections. My calendar, my whole calendar for the year is done. It's done and it's in here, both for me to see and for clients to see. My photos, external and internal photos, I've put in here, and I built the hub. So when I'm talking to the AI, I can say, oh my gosh, I need to do this, this, and this. Put it on my to-do list. Okay, these are due now, these are due later, these are top priority, OMG, right? This is helpful to me. Being able to create a space where it is a headquarters where I can build different types of pages. One of those is an admin asset because at the end of the day, if you do not have an assistant or you do not have a team, you have to figure out how to make AI become the team you never knew you needed, okay? And that's something that has worked with me, for me, intentionally, right? So again, we are having this conversation so that we can talk about a couple of things, but one of those things is figuring out the kind of AI assets, because all of these are A related, right? Admin, audio, accelerator, activities that maybe you have or need to lean into if you're trying to get better at building better this year. Admin pages. Oh no. Okay. My admin pages. Something doesn't look right. Okay, power pause. I'm missing something. Sorry. Okay. Woo! The mix-ups be mixing for me today. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to get it together. So a few of my slides got a little bit mixed up, but the messaging is still strong, even if some of the slides were a little bit wrong. So admin pages, right? Central hub for resources, as you can tell, basically, having a central space for people to go. This improves the client experience, reduces repeated questions, supports scalability, creates structure, and saves time. So I had a power pause moment. If you're live, you saw me kind of going into my AI and updating pages real time, right? And that's the cool thing about one, yes, it's great to be a developer and or have a developer help you, but when you have AI helping you too, real time when you need to make updates to pages, when you need to check things, when you need to clarify things, it improves the experience for you and your customers too. So when customers say to me, okay, LaShonda, I'm looking for this, that, and the third, I can say, okay, go to the academy, go here, there you go. One of my ladies said to me, LaShonda, I work a 9 to 5, so when I come home, sometimes I miss emails. I just not need to see, like, what's on the academy so I can kind of lock it into my schedule. And I said, I got you. I said, okay, let's do this. Go to the academy and go to calendar, okay? When you go to calendar, you're going to see the standard grow week that we do every month. And then you're going to see all the dates of what's happening in January. And then guess what? Keep going down. You're going to see all the grow weeks that we do. Then we also have themes every single month. Love on your business, maintain your momentum, spring into action, mid-year reset, summer sprint, back to business. Each month has a theme. Then you can see when we're doing the accelerators, the whole thing of the $100 winner. Everything is here for you. Now, if it's not there, I can say, okay, my client is looking for XYZ. We don't currently yet have it in the academy, so help me put it in there, right? And so one of the things I've been saying for ladies who are in Accelerate and Elevate, we're building your digital products. We're working on your tools, but we're also working on your AI headquarters so you have assets in one central place. Not just because it's organized, because, yay, it's organized, finally, but then also when you are not working with me, or you don't have to say, LaShonda, can you set this page up for me? You can go in there and literally talk to the AI so it can do the things that you need it to do to also support you, right? And that's the kind of conversation I want to have with you today. I'm looking to create a space where you're able to think about aims. Am I missing something? What are the kind of products and pages? What are the kind of avatars and assets? What are kind of clarity and content do I need to succeed, to get better at creating a business that works for me? I have to take care of my family. I'm the primary breadwinner. I'm on the other side of 45. I'm a diabetic. I can't be like these 20-year-olds up on TikTok all day, every day, okay? I don't got time to be on these social media streets for 16 hours straight. Give me solutions that work for me in my capacity, right? That's the kind of clarity I want you to be able to gain with the resources, solutions, and AI strategies that I'm giving you. So what we're going through here, it's not just surface level. Like, okay, here are some really great types of assets. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's like I need you to kind of dig into, and those of you who are here, feel free to share which of these that you're like, oh yeah, I need that. You know how many years, you know how many testimonials, you know how often I have to sit in Canva and pull testimonials and put her picture there and then put her testimonial there. I'm going to do that no more. I literally can be like, okay, I want you to pull in Tiffany's testimonial, Elizabeth's testimonial, Donia's testimonial, put it at the bottom. Okay, at the top of the page, I love Lavon's testimonial. Put just after we got the main top, section, put the testimonial of launch right. Okay, good. Okay, you got the right photo. Okay, great. And being able to be an offer architect, or rather being able to be an AI architect, where you're the one saying, this is what needs to be moved here versus there, versus you going, I've spent 1,000 hours trying to make this page look right and it looks funky. I can't get this thing. How many times you say to yourself, I can't get this thing to move right there. All I want to do is get it to move right there. 5 hours later, you're still trying to figure out how to get it to move right there, right? Or you're waiting 5+ days for somebody to do it for you. And to be honest with you, I always have to set capacities on how many people I can work with, because a lot of times my heartstrings is like, I can work with everybody, right? And, I'm like, okay, I'm returning that to you. I got you next week, right? And then I may have to say, listen, I meant for Monday, but I'm going to give it to you on Thursday, because I can only work with so many people if I'm doing all the work on my own. But with AI, you don't have to do it alone, right? And so as opposed to me saying, okay, I can build that lead magnet for you, I was able to say to Erica, go into the tool, go into Canva, build a lead magnet, and once you're done with it, I can log into your Canva and tweak it if you need me to do that exponentially faster, right? Articles. Articles build authority. They support SEO visibility. They're repurposable. They clarify the frameworks that you've built. They support memberships and low maintenance content. Now, there are so many ways in which you can create articles with AI. Number one, you could just say, here's the topic, create the article. Now, that's surface level, okay? Anybody could do that. But as we've all seen, doing surface level gets you surface level generic content where people can say, this is just not right, right? You want to think about deeper. Yesterday I did a training on 7-figure sales. It was the first cohort. I finally got to do the first one. It's taken me a month or two, but I got the first one out of me. And the 7-figure cohort, I talked about strategies that have worked for me to build my business, get into 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, and now working on 7 figures in 1 year, aka the millionaire year, right? And then I said, AI, I need you to help me create a guide with the information that I put into the training. And then I said, here's the information that I put into the training. Just organize it for me and fill it out. So I didn't have to literally write it from scratch. Because, I mean, y'all know what it's like to sit and look at a blank Microsoft Word document with the cursor. you know what you want to say, but it's going to take you forever to say it. Don't just do surface level articles. Take it a step further. So let me see if I can show you some of those real quick. Okay, so one of the things I did was I had AI help me with the training I did last night. I did the training, it was like 2 hours, pretty solid on the 7-figure circle. But then I said, listen, here are the things that we talked about, the 3 R's, retention, reactivation, referrals. Then I need you to go in there and then break down some of the things I said live and then some of the things I didn't say, right? Here are some of the other things I didn't say. Let's talk about those in more detail, right? And it did that for me. So again, yes, I could just say, here's the title or here's a description and then just go with what it gives me. But I like to intentionally talk, especially using the dictation speaker, talk out the depth and the specifics of what I have to say, and then let AI find a way to create exactly what I want in my voice, right? Now, that's one way to do it, but not the only way. So let me share an example of you with one of the ladies in the circle. Karen is at the Elevate level, right? And the last time she came out to one of my events, we were talking about what kind of offers do you want to work on? We were brainstorming, and she came up with a framework, a beautiful framework called Bloom. I said, okay, great. What are you going to do with that? We were doing ChatGPT like me sessions that day. Actually, I think it was not the October workshop, but the May one. And then during that time period, she was able to back and forth work on the framework and get it more refined with ChatGPT. But it wasn't done yet, right? So then she and I, over the course of about 3 sessions, and I mean, one of them sessions was like 4 hours, like stretched to break that framework down. Her, me, and ChatGPT. Once that framework was done, I literally then did the heavy lifting of having AI create quite a few beautiful things for her from the framework. And so, yes, you can either just surface level use what it gives you, or number two, give it what you want and say, hey, clean it up, refine it for me. And or number three, go through a back and forth where it helps you both with the development of the concept and then the creation of the end result article-based content. So, for example, this is more than just articles, but here is the lovely Karen. I shared this yesterday, and I was saying that this avatar Karen worked on when we did avatars in Midjourney, and that was like maybe 3 years ago. But it's still the avatar that she uses, and I love it because it's so pretty. And it's a representation of her that she wants people to see, and I love that. There's so many reasons why you can work on creating your AI avatars. We talked about a lot of them yesterday, but having a polished brand image of you that you feel like is a confident, clean, polished version of you, right, to me is absolutely beautiful. So when I crafted this base mock-up, because this is in even the completion of it, if you can believe, when I crafted this base mock-up for her, it was completely based on her Bloom framework. So the goal is to take the Bloom framework and self-publish a 3-part book series this year, right? And so the first part is called An Invitation to Bloom. Why wait until the book is physically done? With AI, we can take the content and begin with a starter book, right? A starter book that talks about what it means to bloom and the different concepts and reflection and words of encouragement that go with that, right? Being able to have integration of questions and checklists inside of this experience. Now, granted, it's not a 50-page book that's coming or a 100-plus page book that's coming, but it's something that is foundationally created to where people go, I have something, number one, and oh, I like this because it's an easy read for me, number two, and I didn't have to wait for LaShonda to create it because she created it for me relatively quickly. And then I can go in the AI and say, hey, can you update chapter 6? Or she can go in to say, can we add a chapter 7, right? And all of it was developed with the help of AI. Now, I want you to think about this. I don't know how familiar you are with micro movies. I'm calling them micro movies, but they're called many different things. There are a lot of people who are creating like TikTok shows, and they're not necessarily TikTok shows, but let me explain. Even Disney is getting onto this game, creating shows that are vertical in style, so they look like you're watching a TikTok or an Instagram or whatever, and they're short form. There are a lot of applications that charge you per video or per story, and they're making a lot of money because people are watching an episode that literally is like 1 to 2 minutes long. Very short form content. Now, if you're old school, right, baby boomer, Gen X, what have you, I'm a Gen Xer here, you may look at this and go, but that's not, a long article, or that's not a long chapter. Baby, the folks don't want dissertations. They want something that they can read within 10, 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, under an hour, and do what they need to do. Activities, the do parts, and content they can QC, quickly create quality content that they can consume, right? One of the things that I've been talking about when it comes to these type of mini offers and tiny tools is that it's easy for you to create and easy for your audience to consume. They do not want to have to spend forever to understand what it is that you're trying to say, right? So we've also thought about, remember I just said to you one of the AI assets was audio content. putting in her audios, being able to break down the Bloom series, her message, her voice, putting that in here. Creating a space where they can do micro challenges, right? Where they can do quizzes, where they can get words of encouragement on a month-by-month basis. And this could be, again, what the AI has crafted, not just out of the air, but through the hours and hours that we put into her Bloom framework, number one, and then also building a community around the framework, number two. Now, I'm leaning into this as an example because this is another space where we have text-based content like articles, right? And a lot of people are not only creating articles for their hubs, their websites, but they're putting them on other social media platforms. So think about it. Medium, Substack, the going back to newsletters. People want that, right? Outside of short form video content, people want more written content. I want you to think about platforms like Facebook and Threads. Have you noticed people creating multi-part posts, meaning they'll say something in the start and then maybe have their message in about 5 or 6 comments? Like today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that you can do to build your business to $250,000 this year. And then you look at the comment, it's like, okay, strategy 1, this. And then there's another comment, strategy 2, this. You'll see it on Threads. You'll see it on Facebook. Have you guys seen any of those, or am I going crazy? Right? There are so many interesting trending ways as to how people are creating content and then sharing that content with their audience. And best believe, baby, a lot of them are not in just solely creating those pieces from scratch. They're using AI to help them create these repurposable pieces they can use for social media, for their membership spaces, for emails, for SEO, for long-term authority. And now you try to figure out, how can you get on social media more? How can you create content more? Articles, activities. Now, one of my favorite activities right now is, you can tell I'm obsessed with prompts. How often do you go online and see somebody telling you, put this prompt into ChatGPT? It's like you throw a rock, you find a prompt. Right? But a lot of folks, believe it or not, and I did a whole thing about how you can use AI to make money. Creating your own prompts is one of them. Believe it or not, these are ways to show up without having to show up in front of the camera. Creating an AI clone or an AI character. Creating articles that you can post on social media or your Substack or your Medium account. Put them in your email newsletter. And then you're able to get better at showing up. But again, the thing that you cannot do is just simply say, hey, my topic today is 5 ways to save $1,000 by Christmas, right? And then have the AI write the article and bim, bam, boom, off to the races. Because, baby, that's the generic, and that's not going to do anything for you other than have you quickly create something generic. Get better at priming the AI, at creating content that the AI can remember and consistently use as a foundation for how you want your voice to be, how you want your messaging to be. And that, for me, is the key. An access hub, right? So I showed you my academy. I showed you Karen's Bloom demo. I think I showed you my winner's circle yesterday, right? Ooh, am I recording? Please, God. So as I brought up prompts, right? This is my easy ebook generator. People can begin this process by going through a series of questions. At the end, they'll get a prompt to create an ebook, similar to how you just saw that online ebook, that web app for Karen's project. Create an ebook that is in the form of a web application using the generator, right? And being able to create this is, for me, a kind of a hub, right? It looks very similar to my winner circle. My winner circle is a lead magnet. Okay, Cynthia, one of the ladies in the circle, she's like, LaShonda, I need to work on a lead magnet, but checklists, they're dated, right? Like, what can I do now? Checklist is like, 5 years ago, right? Checklists still have their place. They can still be valuable, But if you're trying to figure out how to stand out now, you don't need to just simply create something that is a simple PDF, a simple printable. You can take things up a notch. And so I created a space where, number one, my clients could go through a series of activities that take them through 4 phases: claim, clarify, connect, create. And as they're going through the content in this little circle hub, they can track their progress along the way. Yay, right? And these are the things they can work on: daily direction, the clarity code. They can check in. There's a growth lab. There's a manifesto. There are workshops. And it's not just a printable PDF, right? So when you're thinking about how to create these A's, right, A for effort, how to create these A assets, an access hub that's a one-stop destination, whether you charge for it, or in my case, my winner circle is free, but my easy ebook generator is a part of a package. So it's they have to pay for it to get access to it, right? It increases engagement, reduces overwhelm, improves completion, right? Supports academies and anchors a digital ecosystem. It's your headquarters. It's your space so that you can update it as needed to improve the experience for clients. Even if it's not there, you can quickly put it in there and they're like, oh, thank you so much, right? Or if it's a situation where, like me, I've been doing this thing for 20 plus years. I got a lot of stuff that I've created all over the place. Having a space where you've organized all your goods, as I call them, a one-stop destination, an AI assistant. Y'all have been real-time seeing me checking with my AI, updating pages, fixing things, making sure you have what you need. Last night when I did my training, I said, do you guys want to get a surprise bonus? And it was like, yay. I was like, okay. So I literally real-time created 2 new things, pulled an old thing, and then in 5 minutes updated the application. Monique was like, remember, so usually I'll say to clients, I'll be like, listen, that's a great idea. Email me so I don't forget, and then after the fact, I will try to do it. Literally, Monique was like, oh, friendly reminder, remember you said you were going to do that thing? I said, I got you. And literally it became a 5-minute presentation because I was able to go back into the AI, my AI ally, my AI assistant, and show real time in 5 minutes me creating exactly what I said I was going to create, right? And offer it to everyone who was participating. So understand that of the many things that you can create that are absolutely great when it comes to this AI avatars and assets conversation, working with an assistant that can provide guidance, number one, without live access to somebody else, that can help with personalization, support implementation with speed, right? 5 minutes to update my pages. And I can say, hey, let's power pause. Y'all can wait 5 minutes or even 30 seconds for me to do something, right? Versus me saying I'm going to do it after the fact, and then I have my life, and I have my kid, and I got my this, and I got my that, and I never get to it, right? It increases the value and the experience when you can improve the turnaround time, especially when people are struggling because they're trying to find something or they need something that maybe you haven't created. You can explain to the AI what you want and have it build it for you. Reduces dependency on you. Like, I've put my foot in this damn academy, so I'm like, listen, you trying to find that video that I did back in 2022, baby, I got you. Go to the archives. Right? You're like, I think you did it around July. It was like in the summertime. Okay, so look at the June, July sessions I did in the 2023 archive, the 2024 archive, because guess what? It's all there. How many times did you go, oh, God, LaShonda sent out so many emails. I don't know what it was or where it is. I'm putting it all in the academy for you so that I can make sure that all the struggles that in some cases, I'm sorry, I lovingly put you through, now you've got this one-stop shop. And to help you, I've got an assistant to help me reduce dependency on me. Help me create and finish and share these things quickly, right? Scale the support, elevate the perceived value. I'm super excited not only to be able to create my AI digital business headquarters, but to help you all too, right? I do have a few spaces in Accelerate and Elevate because we're kicking off the year, and I want to make sure that you don't miss anything, right? So for the first couple of weeks, I'm making sure that before I close the doors, if you are serious about not just wanting to create more content, get organized, but wanting to learn how to use AI to support you, that's exactly what we're going to do, right? For those of you at the focus level, I will show you some fundamentals to using AI to create your products and pages. But for those of you who I'm working with directly, remember, one to few, one to one, one to many, um, I can help you build the foundation of your headquarters, and then we work on adding things to it as you grow, right? So your AI digital products, your AI headquarters, just a few of the projects that we're working through inside of the Academy this year, okay? Any questions about that, definitely feel free to check in with me. I know Anissa was like, okay, where is that stuff? How do we get started? How do I unlock the access? When you're in the dashboard, honestly, you can see how to get VIP access to the replays from this week and then the 4 big build-a-thons I do at the start of each quarter, unless you want to get access to all the build-a-thons I'm doing every single month, as well as everything else that's inside of the Academy. And then if you want to work with me privately on the Accelerate or Elevate level, just check in privately and I'll send you the details. Otherwise, we'd be on here forever, right? So the goal here is that essentially you're working on going from answers to developing assets, right? With the AI, with me, with Cece, you're in a space where you can provide guidance without, okay, see, it happened again. Hold on, power pause. See, I don't know what happened to me when I was knocking out these slides. You're gonna have to forgive me. Crisis averted. With your AI, you can go from answers to assets because you create a space where you can stop starting from scratch and get better. I call it getting better at building better, right? So you can build things smarter with clarity when you can work with me and Cece. We are going to lean into a prompt or two before I wrap up with you today. But again, this creates a space where you create leverage, not burnout. You're able to reuse what you already have, what already works. So it supports revenue sustainability, and you're able to ultimately unlock ongoing momentum. That's what I want for myself, and that's what I want for you, okay? Right? I'm on the other side of 45. So, it's all about the low impact, but the high value, right? Things that make it easier for me to do the things that I need to do to support you. Like, I don't need to type anymore. I just go and I say, hey, this is what I need to say today, and have it do it the way I want it to. Because and there's a difference, and I need to say this to you honestly. Just like when I was talking about articles, to me the difference is going into AI and saying, okay, today I want to talk about creating a digital product. I want you to help me create a presentation on digital products. That's it. The AI creates it, and you take that. I do not do that. I sit down and I say, listen, this is how I create digital products. These are my strategies. These are my recommendations. Now I need you to take all of what I just said and write the slides. It's a different approach. Other than that, I may say, okay, I'm thinking about working on a concept today. These are some things that I want to say. Can you help me flesh it out? What are some other things that I should talk about? What are some other things that I should consider? And that's another way where I'm co-creating with AI versus telling AI what I want it to say, or rather how I want to say it, so it can quickly create it in the way that I need it to, as opposed to me sitting down and manually having to write every slide, because who has time for that? I don't have time for that anymore, right? The last in-person, Tiffany was like, yeah, I'm going through to find the issues and make the corrections. I was like, why are you doing that? Give it to ChatGPT and say, look through this and correct it for me. I mean, there's no reason. There's no reason to do it yourself, right? So 2 things that I want you to do. Number 1 is lean into these AI aids that I've shared with you, right? The assistants, articles, audios, access hubs, you being able to create your own admin pages, working through creating activities and or audio offers. These are, to me, some things that I've intentionally been creating for years with or without AI. But baby, let's face it, AI just makes it better, baby. Makes it faster for me. And I just want you to be able to have that kind of experience too, working for you. So here's something that I want you to be able to lean into today, okay? A big one for me is the AI assets inventory. So let's talk about that. If you go over to resources, and I know they're in here, there are a lot of things in here. Okay, the AI assets worksheet, okay? Let me just go to Google Sheets because that's what I want to show you. Okay, so AI assets. Some of you have access to this, and some of you may not, okay? It's a Google Sheet that I created. It has several useful calculators and trackers and organizers, one of which is the asset catalog, where you can come in here and put in all of your products, the prices, what kind of offer it is, low price point, high price point, passive income, what kind of digital offer it is, or is it a physical product, a service, an experience, a subscription, a licensing? Then be able to say if it's one of what I call the fundamental 5 offer types, an entry point starter offer, a continuity offer, call me coaching consulting offer, premium offer, affiliate offer, bundled offer, right? Then being able to put the sales page in. Is it available? How many gross sales have you had? And just map that out, because you see, here's the thing. At the end of the day, you can find a way or find an excuse, but you cannot do both. You can find yourself in a place where you're kind of scrambled and you're all out over the place, and you got some things here and you got some things there, here, there, and everywhere. What is that song? Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, with a quack, quack here and a quack, quack here. You're all over the place. You need to organize your ish. I'm just keeping it real. Especially if you want to get better at productizing, you want to get better at systems, you want to be able to create things and know what is going to sell, what actually sells, what you could sell well. And you're like, I need to be clear about these things, but you're not doing what you need to do to get organized, right? That's what I'm talking about here. Like finally having my hub where all my testimonials are organized, all my my calendar for the entirety of 1 year is done. And if somebody needs to say, hey, what are you doing in July or March, because I want to put it on my calendar. Okay, knock yourself out. Here's the calendar. You know what I mean? And then guess what? If I'm not feeling my best and I'm like, what do I need to do? I don't have to try to figure out what to come up with, because I've already, with the help of AI, mapped it all out, right? And that's something maybe you want to do. So there are 2 ways to think about your AI assets, in the form of using the Google Sheet, number 1, or going through the guided clarity session, number 2, okay? So everybody has access to this one. You can copy that bad boy and put it into ChatGPT. I'm going to show you 1 or 2 of these, but first just kind of talking about them. Like I mentioned before, what kind of things do you want to lean into? Maybe you want to work on your inventory. Maybe you want to create an audio series. Maybe you want to create a 12-week accelerator. I've taken out some of those key A assets and created prompts that you can use, right? Some of you do have to upgrade to VIP for access. Those of you in the academy, you get access to VIP. And outside of that, you can work with me privately. But being able to work on these projects, to me, that's the key. That's essential. Now, I didn't put all the AIs in here as prompts. If y'all are in the academy and you go, man, you mentioned this AI, but you don't have a prompt for it, I got you. Let me know and I'll give it to you, right? Kind of like at the in-person event, LaVon knows, like real time. They were like, but what about this prompt? I was like, okay, give me an hour. And it's like, the suite, it has 2 rooms in it, and the back room is the bedroom. I was like, okay, everybody work out here. I'm go back in the bedroom. I'm going to lie down for a second. I'm going to brainstorm this prompt. I'll be right back. So you can definitely ask for prompts, those of you in the academy that you don't see here, but I didn't want to overload you, but give you a few to strategically work through, right? So if I take the AI assets prompt and then take it into ChatGPT, you can use Claude or Gemini, whichever platform you desire. I'm going to show you what that might look like. So to me, it might be a little bit easier in some instances than doing the sheet, only if you just want to talk it out versus manually have to put all of those things into place, okay? So let's do it. Let's do it. Now, as I'm doing that, you can reflect on or even share with me any of those AI assets that you saw, that you see yourself working on intentionally. Let me know, okay? So prompt is in. Best thing about CC, you don't have to tell her what you want. You don't have to ask her. She's going to ask you. It's guided. She leads you to the kind of clarity that you want. Okay, absolutely. We're going to do this one question at a time, bucket by bucket, awareness. Audio. Let's start with bucket one. This includes podcasts, audio series, voice notes, trainings, recordings. What do you already have in the audio bucket, right? Titles, rough descriptions, even high finished, or I forgot about that, right? You may not know, or you may go, what's a voice note? What's a private podcast? And now you're gaining awareness around something that you can do, whether it's assets you have or maybe assets you want to lean into, right? So I can start talking. Hey, okay, so I'm actually completing this prompt as part of a training that I'm doing today, so please share a welcome message for all the ladies joining me live and or on the replay side this beautiful morning, Sunday morning, as part of my AI Profits Build-A-Thon. Today we're talking about AI assets, okay? So if I'm going to answer this question about audios, I have quite a few of them. I have several series. One's called Break Up with Broke, Unblock Your Blessings, Money Magnet. Those are just 3. Now, I'm not going to go through everything because I'm just trying to illustrate to the ladies what they can do when they use this prompt, but those are a few for me. So you see, I like to just talk it out because I talk fast and I can get a lot out. So Cece says, good morning, beautiful builders. To every woman joining live and to those catching the replays later, welcome. You didn't land here by accident. You made space today to build instead of consume, to see what you already have instead of focusing on what feels missing. This AI Profits Build-A-Thon is about clarity, confidence, and momentum. And today, as we talk about AI assets, you're giving yourself permission to stop starting from scratch and start building from strength. I'm really proud of you for being here. Yay! Awesome. And so now, grounding back to my example, audio bucket content. That alone tells an important story. You don't just have content, you have themed, named, and positioned audio assets that can be repurposed, packaged, and sold or used as lead generators. This bucket is active, not empty, not beginner level. This is ideal because you want to know what the hell you have, right? And how to use it. How many times you guys are like, LaShonda, girl, I got a lot of stuff. I don't know what to do with any of this. Or I know what I did with before, but how can I do something new so I can generate revenue, right? That's what these prompts are for. So next bucket, articles. This includes blog posts, newsletters, email content, written teachings. Now, this gives you an opportunity, like I said, I cannot express this enough, to literally see the options in front of you. And maybe you have things that can work for you, but you've never looked at those things in that light. You go, right, I did create. Or, oh, let me go and look at my Google Cloud. I got a jump drive that I used for a couple of months, and I put a whole bunch of stuff on that when I was at lunch doing my lunch hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you need to do. Like, comb through what you've created. Now, the magic in the sauce is a lot of these AI platforms like Gemini and ChatGPT, they can connect to third-party platforms like Canva and your Google Drive, and they could sift through your content for you, right? I ain't even touched that yet, right? Being able to help you pull out what you already have as opposed to doing what people do all the time. I always say, stop starting over. You don't need to. lean into making the most of what you already have literally sitting right in front of you, right? So am I going to answer these questions? No, because I want you to take advantage of the prompt here to help you get clear. This prompt is not about me, it's about you, baby. As you can see, it's going to thoroughly guide you through thinking about the very assets we talked about today. Okay? So if you're here for free 99, ain't no shame in your game. Okay? It's funny, here's the shout out. I'm vibe coding, right? One of the lovely ladies in the circle who joined at the last month's Build-A-Thon when we were building out products and pages. So it's awesome to see as I'm doing these awesome Build-A-Thons with you guys, how awesome you are and how much you love these experiences and then decide to join the community and or continue working with me. Either way, if it's free 99 or VIP, maybe inside the academy, every single level you're going to walk away with some degree of clarity, content, and cash flow potential. So the two prompts that really you want to think about today, okay? Leaning into, for clarity purposes, your AI assets, whether you have the starter prompt or the deep dive prompt, creating a solid, organized, high-level look at what you have, number one, okay? Number two, being able to lean into the scalability, the sellability of what you have. You're like, listen, I've been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years. I'm still trying to figure out how to make this thing work for me. I got you. Sellability. Thinking about what you're trying to put out, how you can take your expertise and actually share that with people in a way that makes sense. Now, sense is not just, well, this is what I know, let me put it into a course. This is what I know, let me create an article series or an audio series. No. Make sense of it based on so many barometers that no one covers. Make sense of it based on your capacity. Maybe you don't have the time to do coaching. Maybe you don't really want to do. Maybe one-on-ones don't work for you. Maybe you prefer intimate settings. Maybe one-on-one or one-to-few works better for you than creating mass content for people and not feeling like that is the thing for you. Some of you light up when you do live. Some of you are like, I don't want to pre-record. I don't want to pre-record content. I don't want to write it and just arbitrarily give it to people and not be able to see what they're doing. I want to work through it with them. I want to experience it with them. It doesn't light my fire to sit in a room and record. I want them in the room with me because it's all about the vibe, baby. Kind of like Tashetta, right? Vibe coding. It's all about the vibe when I'm doing things real time with my tribe. Will it sell? What is going to work for you based on your expertise, but not just that, your interest, your capacity, your community, your responsibilities. Will it sell? Will it sell well? Right? Yesterday we went into some other ones also, confusion to clarity, where you're feeling confused, where you're feeling challenged. That's another level that can work for you if you're trying to lean into what's your next best step. And then last but not least, brainstorming and clarity number one, content and building number two. Get serious about it. Say, okay, I want to build an audio series, LaShonda. Okay, use this one. I want to work on a 12-week accelerator, LaShonda. Okay, use this one. Now, inside of the academy, there have activities like you building out your calendar, you creating a $100 winner, which is a beautiful offer at the $100 price point that you can productize and sell at scale. And if you scroll down, I believe it's one of your bonuses. Bonus, right? You can get the $100 winner and map out a digital offer at the $100 price rate. Another bonus, the easy ebook generator, so that you can work on saying, hey, this is my expertise. This is the kind of methodology and framework and system that I have, and AI will help you build a web app ebook similar to what you saw on the Karen project, right? So listen, I'm about giving you all that you need to succeed, right? So that you can brainstorm, build, you can gain clarity and content, and ultimately work on your avatars and your assets to these are just a few things that I wanted to be able to do with you as part of our AI Profits Build-A-Thon for this month, right? We've been doing these. I think I've done at least 3 or 4 of these. And so it's my personal challenge to do at least one of these a month for the next year. We'll see how close I get to the end. I do like to give myself micro challenges. One year I said for 100 days I'm going to write a blog. I'm going to write 100 blogs in 100 days. One year I said I'm going to go live every day for the year. Last year I said in 10 days I'm going to do 100 videos on TikTok. I just love to give myself personal laser-focused challenges so that I can kind of block out all the things and intentionally focus on one thing that's going to propel my progress forward within a specific time frame. That's something that I like to do. I don't know how well it's going to work for you, but maybe it's something you might consider working on too. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to check in with me as we are wrapping up edition 2 of this month's AI Profits Build-A-Thon that I've created for you. It's really been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. And I love the emails and the check-ins and responses so that I can see what you're working on. You can definitely do a couple of things when you're on our AI Build-A-Thon page. Number one, you can go over to the progress tracker. Hopefully you had an opportunity to share the Build-A-Thon with friends. Even if they missed this one, you can see the top of the page has the date for the next one because, like I said, I'm doing one every month. So when they sign up, they will get notifications about each month's Build-A-Thon, catch it live, and or invest and upgrade to the VIP inside the Academy for the replays side. So at this point, hopefully you can check off that you completed day 1, shared Build-A-Thon with friends, joined live for day 2, completed day 2, and possibly even shared a testimonial too, right? So all of those things are available to you on the space. I'd love to get some feedback and testimonials. All of your constructive words of encouragement, blessings, even constructive criticism, all welcome. So getting all the dates, number 1, and even learning about how to level up with AI Profits inside the community. So remember, friendly reminder, you can invest in just the VIP, which gives you access to the Build-A-Thon. I'm doing one a month, but if you want the live, the replays, the resources, the prompts, the bonuses for the January, April, July, and October Build-A-Thons, you get that with the VIP access, okay? And you get the business clarity kit that takes you from confused to cash flow to help you grow, okay? The starter version is inside of the VIP access. Yesterday it was 67, today it's 97, tomorrow it goes back to 197, okay? I don't always do promotions, and so you need to know that opportunities expire. If you want to take advantage of this one, make sure you do because you missed 67 yesterday, okay? Linda grabbed that 67 as quick as nobody's business. She was like, okay. And I want to make sure that just like Linda and Rashida and all the awesome ladies, Tashana, who were like, listen, I'm not for play. I'm in this thing. LaShawn, there's several ladies who signed up recently, and I want to make sure that if you want to take advantage of the opportunity, you can do so too. Reduced rates to join the Academy, which includes VIP, but access to pretty much everything that I do every single month. And it's not about what we're doing every month. It's about ultimately you having a journey where you can confidently create content, build better, and have the resources and tools to help you grow, right? So once a month, we have a Grow Week, so you can work on your goals, routines, and offers. Once a week, we have the Titan Academy so that you can work through the accelerator on Tuesdays. And of course, depending upon the level you have in the community, you can also schedule one-on-one sessions with me. A, advanced sessions so we can work on mastering your AI. B, build sessions so that you can build with me other than trying to tear your hair out, trying to figure out how to build alone. And then, of course, my personal sessions, clarity sessions, so that we can work on accountability, clarity, identifying what you need to do now, what you did before, what you can do more, right? So ABC, advanced, build, and clarity sessions with me outside of what you see here inside of VIP and or the Academy. send me a voice message, send me an email, sign up, or just check in if you have questions. Last thing that I'm going to say, okay, because I definitely want to make sure that everyone is clear about all the good goods that I put in here for you, okay? Those of you in the academy, you will see what's new is the partner program. So in the partner program, if you have friends, sister friends, business friends, or if you just kind of want to share with your community, they have the opportunity to join the academy. For each of your friends that joins through you, you get a $100 commission referral. So that's something new, exclusively to the ladies in the academy. You can click the partner program and get all the details, okay? And, of course, feel free to check in with me if you have questions. So, again, if you want to send it out an email to one or two people or just strategically say hey to your whole tribe, this academy right here is the vibe, right? Join, and then you can generate a commission. Think about that. 3 friends, 300, 10 friends, an extra 1,000 for you. Why not? All right. That's it, my dears. Let me check the chat because I think you guys have checked in with me there as we are wrapping up for today. Hey, Faye. Based on your previous challenges, which one brought the most leads? That's an interesting question. I would say I've done quite a few of them that have worked out really well. The 5-day Write the Book Challenge, I did that one back in 2024. That one worked really well. Fresh Start was a good one. Because the whole concept was like setting up your business for sales. But at Fresh Start was interesting because it was most of my challenges, I strategically build them to be free and then have different levels. So Fresh Start was a free experience that had a level at, if I'm not mistaken, 37, 97, 297, and 997. And I had people join at every single level of the Fresh Start experience. So that was a really good one. Write the Book was another one where then they can go from writing the book to getting a kit to joining my community for the entirety of the year. And this right here, to be honest with you, has been a really great challenge-style experience. And that, as I just mentioned, quite a few ladies have already signed up in the last couple of weeks, just me consistently sharing opportunities to real-time create tools, to learn about how to get better using AI in their business, and creating a space where we've got that interactivity, that engagement, that clarity, right? Because, you know, some people go, I kind of hear it and I get it and I see people talking about it, but now it makes sense. Now it all falls into place. I see the value of what you're doing. So if I was to quantify it, I can say that pretty much those are some of the most recent ones that I've done, but I've always strategically done these micro challenges and virtual experiences because they might have different themes, but they all work the same. Create engaging spaces where you can offer people ways to get laser focused, to get fast wins, to get clarity, and then introduce them to things that you are creating and offering to them on a long-term basis outside of the thing that you're doing in the moment, and that creates a space for improved conversions. So that's a great question. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anything else come up, Faye, definitely, or anyone, you know, hanging out with me today, definitely feel free to check in with me, send me a voice message, an email, you know, fly, train, plane, whatever you need to do to flag me down, I got you. So as always, my dears, it has been so much fun hanging out with you. You go forth and have an amazing rest of your day. Create your amazing. And as you know, I will be right back here real soon with another dose of direction. Till then, take care. Mwah. Bye.